Hey my loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to the family. If you're a returning subscriber, it is so good to have you back on here. I want to say thank you to you guys for all of your love and support on all of the videos I've posted so far. You guys have been nothing short but amazing. So thank you so much for everything. So basically on today's video, I just thought I should share with you guys my experience, like in terms of my visa processing, visa application process, how I went about it, things I did, and all the good stuff. And basically, I got my visa in 12 days, and I felt like I don't know if there's some factors that influenced like me getting it that fast, but I just felt like what, let me share with you guys. So let's just jump right into the video. You don't care what you're doing. Okay, guys. Um, I moved here a few months ago. And before I moved here, I think my husband had already moved like a year before I moved to Canada. And before then, we had like plans as to what we're going to do and how we're going to go about it. One thing I would always say is that if for some reason you're out of your country and you are not like permanently like settled in that new country, it's important for you to have different options. And that's one thing that myself and my husband did. So when because we're dating for like, I think before we got married, we dated for like over 2 years, almost 3 years. And whilst we're dating, we were planning our future, things we should do, how to achieve our goals. So it's important to plan. So we had a couple of countries in our mind, like I think about 5 or 6 of them, and looked at the immigration process. And honestly, the top on our list was Canada. So we had to, research on the different immigration pathways and the one that would be like the best for us, for our situation, our condition, and everything. And we realized that in terms of getting it like fast and also like getting all of the documents that was required and not being like stuck, the best one was for one of us to study. So we both started applying for like different programs. As God will have it, my husband got different opportunities actually, and we decided to choose where he's currently at. And it was like a very good one for us. And so my husband came here a year before. So whilst he was here, well, when he came here, it was just like another avenue for him to actually learn about how things work and how this to help like my own visa application. Like because I knew I was going to join him at the end. We're not married then, but I knew I was going to join him. So we had to start putting things in play like way before I even did my application, basically. So we got married about 2 months before the application. So we made sure to like put everything in check and not be like found like stuck or anything. So I will just try to run through the process for you guys, and I hope that that will be helpful. Please note that we didn't use any agents, we didn't use anybody. It was just me and my husband, and as God will have it, God helped us. And in a few days, 12 days actually, my visa got approved. So I have a note here, and I'll just be looking at it so that I don't forget anything. Because I just feel like it's better not to miss anything, basically. So in terms of the visa application process, there are a couple of things we put in check in our application. The first thing I would say is our proof of relationship. Like I mentioned, I came here on a spousal open work permit, and I came like my visa is actually tied to my husband. So it was important for us to prove our relationship. So we had to get proof of our relationship basically. So there are a couple of things we gathered together. The first thing we did was to get our marriage certificates. Like I said, we are dating already. We knew we were getting married. So we just decided to just do our wedding. We had like our civil wedding, and we got the marriage certificate. Basically, that would show like yes, we're actually married. We're not just like saying that we are dating and yada yada yada. So that was one of the documents that we put in our application. The second thing we did was to get our conversation. So, like I said, we've been dating for like a very long time, and we had conversations from where we first met until like when we did the application. So what we did was to extract all our conversation from every platform. So WhatsApp, that was like a lot. So WhatsApp, iMessage, um, we also put our so we met on Inch. I think I never said it anymore. We met on Inch. So when we first met on Inch, like we had conversations for like over a week or two on that platform, a week thereabouts. So we took like screen like snips of those conversations, like the date stamp and all of those things, because that would show that yes, our relationship was not just it didn't just start like a few months before our application. Like we had been dating like over 2 years before that. We also tried to put our travel logs because we were long distance. So my husband was out of the UK at some point, and we had to like travel back and forth to see one another. So we put our travel itinerary, so flight tickets. Sometimes when he was in the UK, like the train passes, things like that. We put all of that and we put them, we kind of put them in one PDF file, like folder, and like we just merged everything together. So we put that also. We also tried to put our bank statements showing transfers. So I mean we're dating obviously. So we had one or two money transfers. Okay, my husband will send me money a lot. So I put all of those like those days that he would send me money. So I kind of highlighted in my bank statements the day, the amount. And one thing we always did, like whilst we are this, or what my husband would always do is when he sends me money, he would always like put like a message. So it could be like, oh, for my babe, for IAF, for my babe, for like stuff like that. So and that was like way back, like 2 years before we even did the application. So we did that also and put that together. Then pictures, like pictures, I think pictures tell more stories. So we put pictures of from when we started dating till when we did the application. And obviously we grew like together, like from being very skinny children to like grown ups. So we put all of those pictures together into like different like what they call it, collage, and we just merged it together. We also, like I said, because we didn't know this time, we had to FaceTime a lot, like a whole lot. So we did like, and every time we FaceTime, we always take pictures. I don't know why we still, I just is God. So we always take like snips of like of whenever we take pictures, like screenshots. So we had lots of them, and then that was like even very important. So we put it together, and those pictures will have like time stamps and date stamps. So we did all of that together, and we put that together. So I think that's what we did in terms of our proof of relationships. We had to like put all of that because obviously my visa was dependent on the genuinity of our relationship. If it wasn't genuine, obviously I wouldn't have gotten it right. So we had to put everything to prove that we are married, our relationship is genuine. We had our wedding with our friends and family involved, things like that. So that's one thing. The second part, or the second set of documents we put was proof of funds. We know when you're coming out of your country, like it's important for you to be able to tell that you can take care of yourself, right? Whilst you're there, like especially if you're a temporary resident, because obviously you don't want to come to this country and be a liability to the government. So one thing we did was to make sure that we had enough funds. Like I said, we knew where I was going to join him, and even before he came here, it was something that we had even started working on. So we had started putting things in place so that we don't get to that point where we don't have enough to show. Now, I think for spousal open work permit, it's important to have a certain amount. I think in Quebec it's about $6,000 or 6,000 plus. I can't remember honestly, but we decided to put more than that. So we didn't put like just maybe $6,000. And you know that usually as a student you have to show like your proof of funds, like I think it's as at I think until this year it was like $10,000 or so. So we also try to like put something that shows that yes, my husband can take care of himself. I can take care of myself. So put more than enough. Like money was not going to be like an issue for any form of refusal or rejection. So we made sure to have enough. And how we did that was number one, we made sure to have our bank statements. So we got like bank statements from our banks, from different banks. I also went ahead to get some documents like my pay slip from my employer. My husband also got pay slip from his job, and we put all of that together just to show that we have enough money. And also, like I was not like we're not trying to get money somewhere to do the application. Like it was bank statement for about I think 4 or 6 months. I can't remember that we put for our application. The next thing was for me was proof of employment. Because obviously I was leaving the UK to come here. Like I needed to like explain that okay, yes, even in the UK, I had like like a very good job, and I wasn't going to leave the UK because I didn't have anything doing. Like I had something doing, so I provided my letter of employment. I provided my pay slip. I provided a letter of reference for my job saying that oh, this is what I do and this is how much I earn. This is how long I've been working with them and all of that. So I did that also. The next part was statement of purpose. Statement of purpose is like it's like just your way of talking to the immigration officer. I feel like that can actually increase your chances of getting like your visa approved. That's my own opinion because I believe that if you write your story your way and it's very original to you, very genuine, you most likely will get your visa approved. sorry, no, not get a visa approved because I know that people write a very good one, but like you most likely will be able to convince the immigration officer. Yeah, you most likely will be able to convince them because you're telling your story, you're telling them like, okay, this is what is happening, this is why I need this visa. So for me, we actually wrote a statement of purpose, both of us, so myself and my husband. So basically, what I wrote on mine was basically why I needed to come here, the importance of me coming here, and what I had in terms of like what we had in terms of our funds, the job I was doing, the importance of being with my husband, and also like kind of try to put everything about myself. Also, I tried to also explain my usefulness in Canada. So me coming here, I was not going to be a liability. Instead, I was going to be an asset to the government or to the government of Canada. My husband, on his own path, wrote the importance of me joining him for his study, how I would be like a great impact towards helping him, like, study properly and, be a bit more like productive in his job and just having that sense of family because obviously our families are not close by and things like that. So we decided to write that, and that's what we did in our statement of purpose. Also, whilst we put that together, we made sure to have a table of contents, like like a book. You always have like the the pages of where any chapter is. So we did a table of content that contained every single page for like or every single part where our documents are, like every single thing that we had put together. So that table of content, I feel like if you're ever doing a visa application or even like for Canada especially, please have a table of contents because that would just save the immigration officer the stress of looking for, okay, where did they put this place, where can I find it, and all of that. The next thing I my husband did also was to get a letter from the university because obviously since he's on a study permit, he had to like show that he's actually here on a study permit and he's actually studying. The university is like attending, and also he had to show that he's enrolled in the university, stuff like that. Not that he was not actually studying, whereas he was like on a study visa. So got that also. The next thing was my biometric resident permit, so that my BRP from the UK, that just shows that I reside in the UK. The length of months or years I had to stay back in the UK was just for me then to know that yes, I still have like a very valid permit and I wasn't trying to run away from the UK because I was about to like my visa was about to expire, if that makes sense. Also, I got my added my DBS. So if you're in the UK, you know what DBS is like, something that shows that you don't have any like criminal records or something like that. Basically, so if you are going to any job or anything, most of the organizations will do a DBS check. And that DBS check just shows that you don't have any like pending case, or you're cleared and you don't have any problems. Like more like a police report ish kind of, not police report, something like that, sha. So I submitted that also just to show that yes, my I don't have any problem, no criminal records. I'm good and clean in the country. I've not committed any offense in the UK and I'm good to go. Then I also added my university degrees. So I put my master's degree, my bachelor's degree, just to show that again, like I'm an asset. I'm going to be an asset to the Canadian government, and I was going to come here to work, and add to the economy of the country. So everything, like the certificates I've written, certifications and things like that. I just put everything also under like my educational whatever. Then the visa application forms are obviously on the website. So when you start your application, you get a couple of forms, different ones. I think there's one about your family. There's one about your travel history. So everywhere you've traveled to. So I mean, it's easier to just check on your passport, but also just make sure you write every single place you've traveled to in the past. I think usually in the past 10 years. So I put everywhere I'd traveled to. And also if for any reason you've been denied a visa, it's important for you also to declare that. Don't lie about it. I know that you sometimes like, how would they know? But most of these places they share their information together. So it's better for you to just tell them, oh, I've been denied, I've not been denied, and all of that. Then also, I had to, my husband provided his proof of accommodation, just show that yes, he has a resident or he was living somewhere. I mean, all of these things are not things that they asked us to provide, but we decided to provide them just to erase any form of doubts and also just for them to have everything. So in case they want to ask, okay, what if when what of this thing, like we had it already, right? Then for usually I think you would always have to do a medical examination, but because I was residing in the UK, I didn't have to do that. So I think if you started in the UK for up to 6 months, you don't have to do your medicals. So I didn't have to do that, which was good because that would have literally cost another extra money or stress. Then we submitted the application. I don't know if I missed anything, but I think those are the things that we put together. It was just more about putting everything, dotting all of our I's, crossing our T's, making sure everything is in good order. And we submitted. And honestly, yeah, another thing I had to wait for after I submitted the application was my biometrics collection letter. So usually, if you've not like applied for any Canadian visa before, you need to apply for, like, you need to wait to get a letter from the government that says, okay, go ahead to, or IRCC, go ahead to, let us collect your biometrics to for your biometric records and everything. So I went ahead to do that. I collected the letter and I went ahead to do my biometrics. And in 12 days, I got my visa. Like, it was a very, very smooth process, as God will have it. But my husband and I were very thorough with the application. We prayed a lot. I will not say it's because of the things that we did, but I feel like prayer works. We prayed a lot. We tried to just make sure that there was nothing for the government or for the immigration officer to doubt anything. We made sure that our proof of relationship was very strong, so that there's no stories that touch. We also talked about our home ties, like what we have back in Nigeria, so that you know that yes, we still have family and all of that. So yeah, that's all we did for my application. It was actually a very, very, very good one. I'm so thankful because I know that this Canadian visa, it's not the easiest, or let's not lie, it's not the easiest, but with God, nothing is impossible. So as God will have it, the visa got approved and I'm here. It's been so good here in Canada. I'm thankful for the opportunity to be here. I don't take it for granted, like I don't take it lightly at all. So yeah, if you have any questions or any comments, just share in the comment section below. I'll definitely be there to respond. And yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've not subscribed and you've watched to this very moment, please, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe. Please like, share with your friends, your family. This might be helpful to someone. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.